We're very unlikely to see a Formula One world champion with roots primarily based in sim racing anytime soon. But why? How can something so advanced, so popular, and so close to the real thing still feel so far away from creating the next great racing driver? Sim racing has become a worldwide phenomenon. Entire buildings, businesses, and communities have been built around one machine, the racing simulator. And at one point, millions of dollars poured into hardware, force feedback, pedals, wheels, direct drive systems, motion rigs, you name it, all chasing one question: how close can we get to reality? And despite all of that progress, sim racing's future as a true path into the elite forms of motorsport still feels stale. It's not dead, it's not useless, but it's starting to feel like a trap. And I've found over the 6 years that I've been looking at this problem that the very thing that made sim racing so great is the very thing holding it back. Rain. If you thought racing was expensive, try racing in the wet. It's where cars can turn into multi-ton missiles because grip disappears and braking zones become guesses. And perhaps that's why we refer to rain as the great equalizer. However, I never see anyone ever call it the great debt maker. Because for the driver who does not have an endless budget, one mistake can mean multiple cars worth of damage to the car that you're driving, to the track that you're on, and to your personal well-being. And when the sole goal is just to practice, driving in the rain becomes more of an optional thing rather than the necessity to become the fastest driver on the track. This is where we see the weekend racer go straight home, turn on their simulator, and then decide to practice there. This ends up being the reason many aspiring racing drivers pick up sim racing. And with sim racing being the cheapest form of racing, like all things with a low level of entry, the field has become too saturated for its own good. A saturated field with very little centralized leagues leads to race wins feeling like a stat on a screen and less like proof of a driver's skill and competence. Life is a game, and so is sim racing. No matter how close we get to the coveted tire model, the aerodynamics of a car, the bumps in the road, how accurate is the laser tracking of each and every track, it's all just a game. Now, side note, one thing that I highly recommend you do if you're looking into racing, or even if you're racing at a track in the sim, go to your track day and see if you can do ride-alongs in HPDE or SCCA, because you'll learn very quickly what you don't feel with just the steering wheel and the brakes. You're never going to get that one-to-one sense of speed, the G-force, or even the motion sickness that you might incur if you're going at these speeds, taking these turns the way that you are in the video game. There's this whole library of data that your brain processes, and all of this translates into how well you drive the car. And what's funny is that when we pit two drivers on the same track, one of which sole experience is just sim racing and the other one is half experience, but that experience is real life driving on that track, you will find that the IRL driver is going to beat that sim racer every single time. And that is when we get into the poor return on investment. When it comes to building a career in motorsports, here's a few tips. Always put yourself in the sponsor's shoes. We need only to look at professional athletes to prove this point. In FIFA, we don't sponsor the gamers. We always focus our attention towards the athletes that are already there, living our dream life. So why would I sponsor a sim racer with 5,000 subscribers over a real life driver with 5,000 subscribers? One offers the chance at being right at the beginning of his journey and growing with the driver, while the other is already a step ahead, living what the sim racer is trying to live. Now, I'm not saying that to crush anybody else's dreams, but I am saying that
The way we are viewing sim rigs as a step on a ladder to the next level is solely incorrect.